Good morning, everybody. Welcome. We're going to
Morning.
give folks here just a minute to log in. Turn on my camera for a bit so you guys can see me. Good morning. So you guys are here with the Governor's Office of Federal Assistance, here unlocking federal funding, navigating Nevada's OFA grant discovery tools and resources. Welcome, everyone. Before we get started, just some general housekeeping. Um, you are able to unmute. So if you are logging in, please remember to mute your mics. Training will be recorded and will be stopped towards the end before our Q&A section. Everything is recorded, the video, and resources will be shared and posted to our website after our webinar today. So you'll be receiving them via email if you're registered for the event, and then you will be receiving a link to that being posted online with this video. If you have any questions as we're going along the webinar today, please feel free to drop those into the chat. I will be answering questions at the end. We will have some time, I believe, today for some Q&A. Closed captioning is also available to everyone on the call. So please click that CC button at the bottom of your screen so that you have access to that closed captioning. So my name is Mayita. I am the Deputy Director here with the Governor's Office of Federal Assistance. I will be hanging out with you guys this morning for a bit to do a bit of a walkthrough of some of our tools and resources. Really, the objectives today are just to gain really a better understanding of the available grant resources that we do have available to all of our stakeholders, as well as learn how to navigate and utilize those different online tools that we do have, and to really understand our role here at OFA as the Nevada Single Point of Contact, the SPOC. So we are the designated single point of contact in the state of Nevada. I'm going to go ahead and turn off my camera. I'm going to be clicking through some slides through the PowerPoint presentation, and then you will see that I'm going to stop sharing and then reshare my screen. And we'll actually be navigating through the actual website. So you guys will be seeing my shared screen here in a bit. So just a little bit about us here at the OFA for those that are new to our office. We were created through legislative session through the 81st legislative session a couple of years ago through Assembly Bill 445, and came into creation. Our office was officially established July 1st of 2022, so now about 2 years ago. The vision here at OFA is to really support all of you, our stakeholders, in obtaining, increasing, and maximizing federal assistance, and doing that by the reduction of barriers, by providing inclusive, collaborative, comprehensive, and centralized support in our efforts to obtain federal dollars for the state of Nevada. So let's go ahead and just get started. So finding grants can be very intimidating. Um, it can seem overwhelming, especially when you have a lot going on and you need to find funding to support activities within your organization, whatever type of organization that might be. We have quite a bit of training on our website. You're more than welcome to look through what we have cataloged online. But just to kind of set the scene as we move into this conversation of the tools that are available to our stakeholders, it's very important to have an idea of your grant readiness as you go into grant discovery, as you're looking for opportunities that align with organizational needs. And some points of advice that we do share with folks and best practices is it's important to have a timeline, generate a timeline, work backwards. You know where the ending is. What does it look like as we work backwards? And it can be challenging as we're looking at federal grant opportunities. Sometimes those timelines are very short timelines. So just kind of understanding, what are we capable of? What do we technically or realistically have enough time for and to complete in order for us to really, one, identify an opportunity and then submit a high quality, compelling proposal to then bring in funding into our organization. Excuse me. So it's important to really engage in early grant management. What does that look like in having those different plans in place within your organization? Consider your organization's grant readiness. How ready, again, are we? We do have some tools online to support that. We have the Grant Fit Check. You can see a screenshot here. It is available online for those to use, but it's a rubric. It has scoring criteria where you can go in, maybe facilitate a conversation with leadership or stakeholders, those that are engaged potentially in this project, to kind of feel out, hey, does this look like it's a good fit? Does this look like it's a really good fit? Do we have capacity? Do we have the time to really one, look for and then apply for a grant opportunity, federal or not? Your organization always wants to be prepared as well. And you'll find other trainings, again, that really dig into this. Making sure you have your UEI number, your unique, what is it? Entity identifier number. I can never remember the acronym. I'm so sorry. So making sure you're registered with SAM.gov and making sure your renewals up to, or your registrations up to date. If you're doing business with the state of Nevada, making sure that you have a state vendor number so that you're able to receive payment. Having an idea, again, of your project design, the need of the organization, the funding need. Do we have working budgets already in place? And then what I think is the most important is that engagement, that buy-in from the folks that are working with you, the individuals in your community that will be impacted by funding that's coming into your community. So having those conversations, those having kind of everything teed up and having a rough idea as you walk into grant discovery. Um, Perfect. So, what exactly is on our website? And for those who have stalked us online, thank you for visiting us. We have quite a bit of information on our website, and we are working through cleaning up some of that information. Please, if you see a dead link somewhere, please let us know. But we do have some really great resources if you take the time to kind of look around. So what we do have on our website is we do have an infrastructure hub, the IJA hub. You can find that if you log on to ofa.nv.gov. Right up at the top, you will see that we do have that hub. On this hub, you will find open funding opportunities, open funding opportunities that are infrastructure related. You will also find infrastructure resources, where you will find information on that the federal government has released on the different guidance memos, guidance books, work that's actually being done, updates as to where Nevada is, a Nevada fact sheet, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm going to take us to it so we can take a look at it. And I apologize beforehand because it's always a little clunky unsharing and then resharing. So give me just a moment while I do that. Can everyone see my screen? If I can get a thumbs up, that would be great. Fantastic. So here again, we see ofa.nv.gov. That is the link to our website. This is our landing page. So if we go here right up to the top, we do have the infrastructure hub right here. So if you click on the infrastructure hub, it will take you to the landing page for the infrastructure hub. Because we're looking at federal grant resources and finding federal grants, if you scroll down, we do have open funding opportunities listed on our hub. So if you click on this, you will see a list here of infrastructure related funding that is available to individuals. And if you saw where I clicked view larger version, it will pop that out for you and you will see these individual grant opportunities. You could always open this up and we'll do a little bit more learning here in a moment, but you do have these resources on that infrastructure hub website. Also on the infrastructure hub, you will find opportunities on current projects, and then infrastructure resources, which I think is perhaps probably one of the better sections of that site. And you will see all of the different websites that the federal government has laid out information on the Justice 40 initiative. So you'll see that if you click on that, it will pop that down and give you information on the Inflation Reduction Act, the America Rescue Plan, etc. You will also see playbooks. So the list of the different playbooks here, the primary inflation IRA guidebook, as well as guidebooks or playbooks for the individual sectors. So we see one for technical assistance, we see one for BIL, et cetera, et cetera. And you find these if you navigate to the different federal websites, you will find this information. So what we've done our best to is just kind of aggregate or compile that information in one centralized force section for you as well. You'll also find links to the Nevada Clean Energy Fund and different individuals, OSIT, the Office of Science and Innovation Technology, and the different work that they're doing that, again, is very infrastructure related. So ties back to Asia. We do also have a notify us of your project. So if you are looking to apply for any infrastructure funding or are looking for technical assistance, or if you're looking for support, or if you're looking for partners, please let us know about your project. Here on the landing page, right up here on that quick links, notify us of your project. It will bring you to a form where we will ask you to provide a bit of information. It's not very much. It is 7 questions. And we will be asking whether or not it's infrastructure related. So please, if you do have a project, notify us. We would love to hear if you're requesting help about a project. Please notify us as well. We would love to hear. And then if you need help finding partners, maybe you have an idea, you have a project, please reach out as well through that form. So bringing us back to the PowerPoint, let me know. Oh, let me know if you see the PowerPoint. Give me just a second. Shayna, can you guys see my PowerPoint?
Yes.
You can? So I'm the one that can't see it. What slide is it on?
7.
It's on slide 7. How strange. Mine is literally a black screen.
Okay, do you want me to move forward to the next screen?
Let me see. Let me see if I can share. Let me pull it up on the side here. Give me just a minute. I'll just share my screen again. Apologies.
Now, everybody, just so you know, all the links that we are dropping into the chat will be sent to you as well alongside the slides. So you don't have to worry if you missed anything. We're going to send that to you as well.
Yes, thank you so much. So let's see. Let me know, can you guys see this PowerPoint? Yes?
Yes.
Fantastic, thank you. So that was our infrastructure hub. Again, going to our website for grant discovery. Now we're looking at different grants. So we do have different resources. The first resource that we will, that I will review with everyone is our grant discovery tab, which you can see here right up at the top. These are federal grant focused types of opportunities. We have partnered with US Digital Response to develop and tailor a tool where we can navigate and find federal grant opportunities a little bit easier. It is an identification tool. To request access to that tool, you would go to the grant discovery page and you would submit a request for access to submit that information to us. And the tool really is to boost, again, our success, to find opportunities, and beyond finding opportunities, to find potential collaborators or partners in the federal grant space. It's a very easy tool, intuitive tool to navigate. Um, there are over 5,000 federal grant opportunities within the federal grant finder. If you're familiar with grants.gov, what you find at grants.gov, you will also find in USDR, the federal grant identification tool. It just makes it a little bit easier to navigate and find those opportunities. You'll also get notified of new grants. So once you set up a saved search criteria within the tool, you will receive emails whenever a grant matches that safe search. And then you'll also be able to see who's looking at what and who is expressing interest in particular federal grant opportunities, or that are interested in the same grants, to begin to have those conversations within your community to see, hey, I don't know, JAG is looking at this, as well as, I don't know, Nevada Works. Maybe we can both partner and apply and write a compelling story to be more competitive in this space. Again, always in the spirit of collaboration and always in the spirit of not duplicating efforts in the state of Nevada, so that we can really maximize the assistance that we are bringing into the state and not competing when it's not strategic. So I wanted to show everyone the tool. And let me pull that up. How many, just with a show of hands, are familiar with the USDR tool or are currently onboarded into the tool? We have quite a few users that use USDR. Just a raise of hands. We have one. Hey, Sandy, I didn't even see you there. Hi. Fantastic. So, you guys can see my screen, yes?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, I keep asking. So this is US Digital Response. You log into the federal grant finder. So USDR does not actually house any passwords. Once you request access through that link on that slide deck that we'll share with you, you will be created an account. And every time you want to log in, you would input your email address, click send me the link, and then an email will be sent to that registered email address with a link back into the tool. So once you click back into the tool through your email, I just want to make sure that everyone is able to see that I switched tabs. Can everyone see that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Shayna. You will come into the U.S. Digital Response Federal Grant Finder tool. This is usually what the base page looks like. You'll see you have a Browse Grants tab, a My Grants tab, you have a dashboard. Depending on your administrative rights, you will see users or teams. This is where the magic happens, in a sense, where you have the Browse Grants. So what you would do here, we see just automatically that we have 2,000 total grants that are being showed that are updated from grants.gov. We also see the title of the grant. We see who's looked at. So you can kind of see, OFA, we've looked at this grant opportunity. Veritiv has looked at this opportunity, and so has COM. You do have to open it up to take a look at it, but you can see who has been looking at that grant opportunity. You will also see it filtered by who's marked a level of interest in that grant opportunity. And we'll go through that right now, where it's at, what type of opportunity it is, whether or not cost sharing is a requirement, and what those award ceilings are, and again, that open and close date. The beauty of the tool, I think, is that you can create a search much like grants.gov, but once created, it saves your search. So here you can see I went into my saved searches. You can see the different types of searches that I have created. I've created one that I've not titled. I've created one that's Infrastructure and Inflation Reduction Act specific. I've created one for my rural development partners. I've created one for a few stakeholders that we have, right? So when you create a search, and we'll go into a new search, what you see here under the criteria for a new search is what you will see in grants.gov. The information is mirrored. You can title your search and we'll do online practice. You can include keywords, and here you can kind of see the keywords that we've used in the past. They are or, so you would do rural, comma, development. So it would be rural or development, or I don't know, let's do water conservation. You can also exclude keywords. So depending on the type of grant opportunity that you're looking for, sometimes we see a lot of grants that are for clinical trials. I don't want to see a clinical trial type of grant. So this will filter out any grant opportunity that says clinical or trial. If you're looking for a particular opportunity, you can always look it up just by opportunity number. You can currently look at posted or closed and archived grants. They are adding forecasted. So this will be updated here hopefully pretty soon where we can see forecasted grants. But right now we're just looking at posted. Funding type, again, sortable by grant, cooperative, procurement, contract, or other. In this case, we're just going to look at grants. Here is the eligibility markers. You can leave this blank, but you can, again, it's mirrored from what's on grants.gov. You can sort this based on the type of non-federal entity that you are. So maybe here we want to take a look at, I don't know, county governments. Then we would look at the opportunity category. I'm a fan of discretionary funding, so we'll look at discretionary funding. If you're interested in looking at something that's, you know, from a particular bill, maybe we want to look at funding from only the Department of Labor, or maybe only the Department of Transportation, or only Small Business Administration, depending on what you're looking at. But in this case, we'll leave it at all bills. The category of funding activity, this is pulled from FFIS, which is a database that is available to individuals. You can always sort your category funding type by sector. So if you just want to look at maybe employment, labor, and training funding, it'll sort that for you. If you know your agency code, maybe you're only looking at DOL grants, whatever that might be, you can put that here. If you want to filter out by cost sharing, maybe you don't want to see any grants that require cost sharing, you can put, you don't want to see those. So once you save and view results, it'll take those 2,000 grants and hopefully filter them down to something a little bit more accessible, a little bit more usable for finding those federal grant opportunities. And keep in mind, now that you've created the search and it's linked to your email address, you will receive a notification in your email every time a grant is posted on grants.gov that aligns to your existing search. And I apologize, sometimes it is really slow. There we go. Something went wrong. Let's take a look. No matches found. So this happens where the criteria maybe is a bit too restrictive. So let's go ahead and take out employment, labor, and training. It's probably because it doesn't align with the keywords that I put in. I do tell folks, usually sometimes this will take a few iterations of massaging until you get the right mix to find those grant opportunities that align to your organizational needs. So let's go ahead and let that load up. So now we see that those 2,000 grants did narrow down. If we scroll down to the bottom, now we have only 62 total grants, which is still quite a bit, but it's less than 2,000. So again, we can filter. I like to filter by close date just because I want a little bit more planning time. Keep in mind that if you are sharing this with external stakeholders, you can export this into a workbook, and you can also do that filtering in a workbook, and you can clean that up. So here we see the different types of grants. We know, let's look at the Good Jobs Challenge grant, which is due tomorrow. You can see who's looked at it again. If you do open this, it'll take you to a larger screen where you can see, again, everything mirrored from what's in grants.gov. You see what the award ceiling is, the agency code, when that due date is, what that brief description is, and then you can click on view on grants.gov and it'll take you directly into the website where you can find it. This is probably what folks are familiar with. Here, if you are onboarded and you're interested in applying here, I know we are offering a letter of support for this particular grant opportunity. If you click will support, it will show up as, hey, OFA Maida will support this. If you know that a partner is onboarded into the tool, and maybe I think that, for instance, Nevada Works probably is applying for this or should apply for this, or I think, hey, maybe I want to send this over to the Nevada Grant Lab or whatever that looks like, you can send it to them and share it with them. And it'll show Maida Sanchez shared this opportunity to Nevada Works. The individual that is onboarded into this tool and has registered with this tool will then receive an email notification saying, hey, OFA sent this grant opportunity to you. They thought that it might be of interest to you. Here you go. So that is what that looks like. So once you do mark a level of interest on your grant, again, you can see who's marked interested on something to maybe start a conversation or who's kind of looking at what. Your grants will be saved under your My Grants tab. It allows a little bit for accessibility, easeability for grant planning discovery within your own teams. Maybe you have a couple of individuals that are signed up, so you can kind of take a look at that. Here we see what was shared with your team. I can see what I shared with folks. You could see what you have maybe marked as interested, and then it'll kind of highlight, hey, this is coming up. You were thinking of applying for this. If you're tracking what you're not applying for, or maybe what you have applied for, you can also find that here under My Grants tab. But that is the tool in a nutshell. It can be quite helpful, and it really is for that federal grant discovery piece. It is federal grant specific. You will not find any grants that are not federal in nature. So hopefully that is helpful. And again, if you're not currently signed up, please submit a request for access and we'll get you onboarded. We do have quite a few resources to support those that are within the tool. We do have monthly office hours to provide technical assistance. We also host consortium meetings that are sector specific. We currently have 2 consortium groups that are actively meeting, the Rural Development Consortium, and then we also have the it doesn't know me. Okay, Lisa, I will follow up with you if you can flag Lisa to make sure she's onboarded into the tool. And then we do have a consortium that is workforce development specific. We're having an education consortium meeting, but that has dropped and we have to reinitiate that consortium. And then hopefully as our capacity in the office grows, we'll see that these consortium meetings scale into other sectors, hopefully housing or infrastructure related. So if anyone's interested in that, please mark your level of interest as you sign up. Please reach out to our office. The folks that do meet those standing meetings every other month, it's to share knowledge, to share best practices, to exchange information, to form working groups, to apply for federal grant opportunities in a collaborative way. And we have seen some success with that, where we have been able to form smaller working groups and we have been able to apply for federal grant opportunities as a coalition. So it's been very positive in the sense for our partners. So outside of the federal grant tool resource, we also have a curated list of grant opportunities that include federal grant opportunities, but also include non-federal grant opportunities, foundational grants, private grants, and pass-through. So state funding that is either federal pass-through or state mandated subawards that go out to our communities and partners. Again, at our OFA.ME website, if you go to the grant resources tab and you click on that drop down, you will see an opportunity, the grant opportunities link. If you click on the grant opportunities link, that is where you will find that curated list. Shayna does an absolutely amazing job curating that list for folks and finding foundational grants. Usually for foundational grants, you have to have a subscription to pay for something, like through Candid. We're able to curate and bring those grant opportunities and provide them to you in Airtable or through our grant opportunities website free of charge. So you don't have to pay for it. And we try to do our best to make sure that those opportunities that we do provide on this website or on this webpage are curated specifically for Nevada. So here's the link, grantopportunities.mv.gov. We do have a guide posted online as to how to navigate the tool. If anyone is familiar with Airtable is the tool that we do use, and it's embedded into our website here at the state. Again, curated grant opportunities for our stakeholders. It is not a comprehensive list. We do our best to provide as many opportunities as we can. The tool does allow those that are using it to filter it through group, to group the different information, and to sort the information as well as export, much like what we saw with the USDR tool. You can export information as needed. Currently organized by project type, you'll see the project categories, and each listing includes information on the opportunity. So its name, closing date, who is administering the opportunity, a link to find more information, usually a description of the project, and then information on eligibility, who can apply for those particular grants. If you follow this QR code, it will take you directly into that tool. So I'm going to go ahead and navigate over to the tool so we can take a look at it together. And hopefully this is helpful to everyone. I know it's a little clunky. So I'm back at our OFA website. So I'm going to go ahead and drop into our grant resources, scroll down to our grant opportunities link, and navigate over to grant opportunities. You'll see some language. You'll see a list of the Nevada state agencies that award funding. There's also a list of federal grant making agency lists. I believe this is from grants.gov. And then here you will see this tool, and you see that I've already narrowed it down. So if you click on view larger version, it'll just pop it out. For me, it's a little bit easier to navigate. So here we see the different project categories: advocacy, social justice, community service. And then we see who is providing that opportunity. So sometimes here I like to filter by the administering agency, filter by this field, and we could take a look at just specifically funding that is coming from the state. If you're acting as, or you're looking for subawarding. So here, for instance, we see a grant here. It looks like it's coming from the state, Conserve Nevada. It looks like it's open. The closing date is October 1st. Here we see a link to that opportunity. So if we click on that, it's going to tell you, hey, we're leaving Airtable. Where are we going? We will then be brought to the website where we have more information on that particular opportunity. Here you'll see a description. Again, you can always, it's like Excel. You can kind of like toggle things around and take a look at it. But here we see Conserve Nevada is accepting pre-applications for prospective grant projects. Interested applicants are encouraged to submit proposed projects for, and I believe we could pop this out and take a look at what that looks like. And again, Shana does just an absolutely fantastic job curating these opportunities for our folks here in the state. Who should apply? So that's your eligibility, counties, municipalities, et cetera, et cetera. So you see that. I really do encourage everyone to take a look at the grant opportunities page. Currently, you will see federal grants. You'll see all types of grants. We are doing our best to really expand this particular page so that we can really see those non-federal opportunities and see those opportunities that are foundational in nature. Just again, to really create a robust portfolio of grants that are coming into the state to allow you to apply for those. Not sure how to use the list. This is a great guide. This is something that I myself use, and it will walk you through how to use the tool. It's very, very helpful. I definitely recommend taking a look at it, but it'll kind of show you what everything means, how you can sort with screenshots. It's absolutely fantastic. So I definitely recommend taking a look at that. Again, USDR, federal grants, grant opportunities page, federal grants with a mix of other types of grants, and state funding. So state funding here as a centralized office of federal assistance in the state of Nevada, We want to do our best to provide opportunities to our stakeholders with all types of funding, and that includes funding that is coming from state agencies. We do ask that if you are a state agency or I have to fix the link on this. That is the wrong link, Shayna. Remind me. um, when we are passing through funding, if your organization, state or non-state agency, any type of organization that has any funding that they're trying to subaward, please let us know. We can platform those opportunities for you. And by platform, sharing those opportunities, elevating those opportunities to a very large network here in the state of Nevada. It is a very short form. It is, we call it the NOFO, Notice of Funding Opportunity Form. And again, your agency can provide this information, and we will post the grant opportunity. Once you provide that information with a link, we will post that information here on our grant opportunities web page. So if you come to us, let's say you're DHHS and you have resiliency funding that you're trying to pass through to service providers across the state, let us know. We will upload this information, and it will be, again, shared out and platformed with individuals through newsletter, through social media posts, including LinkedIn, Facebook, blog posts, just messaging. Shayna and the rest of our team will know, and we'll be like, hey, let's go ahead and connect this opportunity with this person over here, direct email. And then again, if someone's coming to the website and looking for it, they will find it here and they will be directed to your opportunity so that they can apply for that opportunity directly. So again, as that, in the spirit of collaboration, excuse me, and again, sharing those opportunities with folks, please let us know if you do have funding available and that you would like to share with our stakeholders, or your stakeholders too, with our community, so that they have access to that information. So I'm going to come back into the PowerPoint, and thank you everyone for your patience. Notice the funding opportunity. This is a link to that. Again, platforming your grant opportunities, our state's opportunities. So submit that notice of funding opportunity. If your organization has any type of pass-through funding to award, please let us know. Submit your notice online. It really is critical in our work here in Nevada, because not all of us can or have the capacity or the time to apply directly to federal funding. So if we can support our partners through pass-through funding, all the better, right? So all notifications will be added to that website. Again, that grant opportunities database that I did show you. And it is available. It's completely free. Nobody has to pay to access it, to use that information. So as we go here, as we round out the morning, thank you so much, everyone. A reminder. So the Office of Federal Assistance, we are the designated single point of contact here at the state of Nevada. For those who are familiar with federal grants, who have been applying for federal grants, when you look at your SF424, it will ask you, hey, have you either submitted, will you be submitting, or are you not required to submit? If you're applying for a federal grant and you have a designated single point of contact, you are required to submit a notice to us for intergovernmental review to remain in compliance with that federal grant opportunity. So it is required reporting. We are the designated contact. You can look at the authority through Federal Executive Order 12372, and it is in the spirit of intergovernmental review. If you're looking where do I submit? Where do I go? Maybe you lost the link. If you go to our grant resources page, and pop down single points of contact. If you click on this, it will take you to that page. So again, through federal executive order, this is just a screenshot of your SF424. Is your application subject to review? Yes, it is. And we are that individual. It's an online automated form. Your SF424 will inform that information that needs to be uploaded. So please upload that information, submit it. Our team will conduct the review for intergovernmental review, log the information, and generate the required SAI number that you need to file with your federal grant application. State what is SAI? Oh my goodness, I cannot remember right now. I'll think
The
about it.
state application identification number.
Thank you so much. We just talked about this and I already forgot. Your state application identifier number. So required reporting. So that is required reporting for the federal grant applications that do require that. We do have another layer at the state of Nevada through Nevada revised statute. All state agencies are required to provide that information to us as well. Your federal grant, if you're applying for a federal grant opportunity, you need to notify the office of any notice of application, any notice of award, whether or not you received the award, and as well as any change if there's an amendment to the award, as well as when you close out that period of performance and there's any unexpended funds. Again, we use the same form as the federal assistance notification form. We've tried to simplify it and streamline it as much as possible. So if anyone has any thoughts or feedback on how we can better the process, I will not get mad if you reach out to us at all, just to provide feedback on that. But again, for our state agencies, you are required to report this information, whether or not the federal grant requires it. And for everyone else, for your federal grant that does require it, do not forget we are the SPOC, the single point of contact here at the state of Nevada. For transparency, and again, always in the spirit of collaboration, intergovernmental review, the intent again is to provide opportunities for individuals to connect, to provide feedback, to really have collaborative, compelling work applications that are going to the feds and really speaking to the feds and saying, hey, look at, we're working together, we're bringing the state forward together. We provide the federal assistance notification submissions for the SIs, the SAIs, those that are submitting their information to us. They're all publicly available to view. So if you go to, again, the single point of contact page, on that sidebar, you will see the submissions. If you click on submissions, it will open up those different submissions. You can click on that and it will show you exactly who's applying for what, when did they apply, how much are they applying for, et cetera, et cetera. So all of that information is available to the public and to our partners. Again, to encourage that collaborative piece here at the state of Nevada for the intergovernmental review. That is all I have. Those are the tools and resources. Again, your friendly OFA here. We do provide a variety of support to our stakeholders, technical assistance, free of charge, of course. We answer questions about all grants during all phases of the life cycle. So please reach out to us. You will be assigned an executive grant analyst that will connect with you and meet you where you're at when your grant life party that you are doing and provide that support to you. And again, we do provide support with grant discovery. If you're looking for something, please reach out. Grant writing, mentorship, grant review, co-writing, management, monitoring, etc. So please reach out to us with any question, including now. I did see a question, Sheena. I did see a question here.
We have 2 questions.
Fantastic.
Okay, let me go ahead and stop the record.